I think obviously it's very fresh news, the announcement of the cooperation between Nokia and Microsoft. So the key message that we're giving to our developers is that Symbian is here now, and it's going to stay here for the next 12, 18 months, certainly. So we're planning to ship over 100 million Symbian devices in the next 12 months. Add that then to the existing installed base. You've got around 300 million Symbian devices that are addressable, Nokia platforms that are addressable for developers to use. So I think Symbian's going to be here for a long time. The toolkits are available now, the distribution mechanism is available now, so it represents a good business opportunity for developers. So we continue with our plans. We've got very exciting plans, a lot of developer engagements, particularly in Austria, but also our other countries, supporting the operators like we have been doing last year with the Apps Lounge and Qt Lounge with A1. So we'll continue to do that. In fact, we'll do more of that. We're bringing a lot of more Qt training aimed at basic, intermediate and advanced. We've also got a lot of training available for developers on the Java touch and type, so not to forget the 500 million Java devices that are out there, and bringing touch to those devices. So a lot more outreach activities, what you might see slightly different, and that's really leveraging our local organisation, where we do a lot more intimate type of engagements. So we don't just sit in Helsinki. You know, I'm based in Vienna, our teams are based in each of the countries. We're able to get out and speak directly to people. Next week we're in Fachhochschule Hagenberg. We're doing something there around near-field communication, so lots of exciting things going on. I think the announcement with Microsoft, or cooperation with Microsoft, came out last Friday, so it's a little bit too early to give exact details. Basically, we don't know the details yet. That's something that we're finalising together with ourselves, between ourselves and Microsoft. So yesterday, 3 meetings here in Barcelona, so we're starting that journey. I feel a lot of energy coming from Microsoft, and we're certainly excited about the partnership. And I would hope in the next few months we're able to start actively communicating to our developers what it will mean for them in the future. As part of publishing to the OV store, obviously we want to maintain the best user experience, so that's first and foremost, and then behind that we need to ensure that the applications don't compromise the device. So if you need to make an emergency call, the application shouldn't stop you from that. So these are the, if you like, the very basics of what we're trying to ensure here. When we go through the publish process with OV, first phase of that is what we call moderation. So if it's in a local language, we get a local speaker to understand that we're not offending anybody, particularly relevant in some of those markets which have very strong religious beliefs that we don't show bare skin, naked skin, this sort of thing. So that's moderation. Second part is testing the functionality. So obviously when Nokia puts its name to the OV brand and a Nokia user downloads an application, if it doesn't work, it's not a very good user experience. So when a publisher says this works on N8, it works on C7, we check, and part of that checking then is to make sure you can do the emergency calls, for example. Then we go through something called Java verification and Symbian signing. So one of the conditions of publishing to the OV store is that we ask you to go through this formal certification process. Nokia funds that, so it's free for the developer. But every Symbian app goes through Symbian verification, every Java app goes through Java verification. And then we start the whole deployment to all the localized stores. So Martin, my colleague, was talking earlier about all these stores in hundreds of countries. So that takes time to roll out, but we aim to go from beginning to end of that process within 5 days. I mean, we have some quite strict terms and conditions of publishing to the OV store, which basically enables us to block any applications that might compromise consumer data. That's one aspect of it. Obviously, when it comes to social networking, and particularly we see a strong drive from the United States to try and put an age limit to prevent younger children from being exposed to all sorts of not so nice experiences, if we describe them as that. So to some extent we're driven by other markets in providing guidelines to people publishing. But we're aware of that, we try to accommodate all of these different requirements. I mean, this is a great question. Yeah. And I think it's very flippant to say everything is restricted by our own imagination. But let's sort of break that down a little bit. If we think back 5-10 years ago that we would be accessing email everywhere in the world when we're on the way, we would never have believed that. So I think it's very difficult to imagine what will happen in the future. We see some clear trends, particularly around social networking, clear trends around entertainment, music, clear trends around location-based things. But in terms of where the SIM card will end up, or where the mobile device will end up, physical form factor or inanimate objects, I think that's great. And from our perspective, we're happy to support people exploring these innovative ideas. And I think if you truly believe in a market economy, at the end of the day, the consumer will decide. Obviously, there's a lot of things we can do to help stimulate and promote that sort of thing, but it's going to be an exciting next 10, 15 years, that's for sure.